Good evening, live from this news center of the Sultanate of Oman television. Here we present to you tonight's news bulletin. But first, let's begin with the headlines. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq issues 2 royal decrees. The COVID-19 vaccination campaign continues in various governorates of the Sultanate as the Ministry of Health reports 35 new COVID-19 fatalities. Efforts continue to put out the fire in Ras Al Harq area in the wilaya of Al Hamra. And the employment and training efforts continue in various sectors. Good evening once again, and thank you for joining us. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq issued 2 royal decrees. Royal Decree number 44 of 2021, Article 1, amends some provisions of the Insurance Companies Law. Article 2 cancels all that contradict with the attached amendments or contravene with their provisions. Article 3, this decree shall be published in the Official Gazette and come into force from the following day of its publication. Royal Decree number 45 over 2021, Article 1 amends some provisions of Takaful Insurance Law. Article 2 cancels all that contradict with the attached amendments or contravene with their provisions. Article 3, this decree shall be published in the Official Gazette and come into force from the following day of its publication. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq has sent a cabal of greetings to His Excellency Wavel Ramkalawan, President of Seychelles, on his country's National Day. Ministry of Health reported 35 deaths, 2,015 cases and 1,072 COVID-19 recoveries. The ministry also pointed out that the total number of COVID-19 cases registered in the Sultanate reached 242,723, while the total number of deaths reached 2,626. The total recovered cases reached 213,880. The ministry indicated that the total number of inpatients reached 1,306, of which 382 are in intensive care units. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Health added a new feature to Tarassud Plus app and its website, which allows the users to book for vaccine. The ministry urges the second batch of citizens and residents of 45 years and above to take an appointment before handing the approved government vaccination centers, which are located in many places across the country. The Ministry of Health thanked citizens and residents targeted in the first batch of the big turnout, which reflects a growing community acceptance of the vaccine safety and efficacy. The Ministry of Health reported that the number of inoculated people passed the 500,000 barrier. The national vaccination campaign in Sultan Qaboos Sports Complex receives on a daily basis around 2,500 to 2,700 individuals. The national campaign has been offering an orderly service to citizens and residents in Oman. The process runs smoothly, from booking an appointment to observing the preventive measures at the vaccination sites and to finally getting the vaccine in orderly fashion. The reception from the visitors to the vaccination centers are growing positive, and more people are getting vaccination every day. The ministry targets the age group of 45 and above starting from next week. The national COVID-19 immunization campaign continues in the wilaya of Taqa in the governorate of Dhafar. The campaign covers those eligible to second dose from citizens and residents, in addition to state's administrative apparatus staff. Precautionary measures were taken during the campaign process, which witnessed a wide participation from the target group. Many vaccination centers distributed in various wilayas of the governorate to facilitate the vaccination process. The campaign will also continue to cover other society segments. The Sultanate, represented by the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Wealth and Water Resources, participated in the works of the 42nd round of the General Conference of Food and Agriculture Organization FAO of the United Nations, with the participation of representatives of 193 member states. The conference reviewed the situation of food and agriculture in transferring agricultural and food systems from strategy to work. The Sultanate delegation was chaired by His Excellency Dr. Saud bin Hamoud bin Ahmed Al Habsi, Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries, Wealth and Water Resources, who stressed in his speech that the organization focused on agricultural and food systems to contribute in good way in reducing problems associated with food and nutrition production in various countries in the world. Royal Oman Police, Civil Defense and Ambulance Authority, Royal Air Force of Oman Aviation and voluntary teams in the Wilaya of Al Hamra succeeded in controlling more than 85% of fire at Ras Al Harq area in the Wilaya of Al Hamra in the Governorate of Al Dakhiliya. Royal Oman Police said that individuals and voluntary teams started at 6 a.m. this morning in putting out the fire in 3 sectors on an area of more than 3 kilometers, pointing out that the winds caused quick spread of the fire in the area. Earlier yesterday, Royal Oman Police had received a report about the eruption of fire at Ras Al Harq area, reaching to the nearest point of fire site about 3 hours on foot. Earlier, Environment Authority said that the fire caused a great impact on natural elements such as Al-Alan and Al-Atim trees. Sultanate of Oman joins the international community today in celebrating World Day to combat desertification and drought. The celebration this year focuses on a number of topics such as restoring degraded lands to productive lands, achieving economic resilience, creating jobs and raising food security. Sultanate celebration comes to signify the importance of combating desertifications and drought in the country, reforestation of wild trees and plant cover in dry areas. You are with the Sultanate of Oman television, and yet to come in our news bulletin. Thai researchers say they have been amazed by how effective dogs can be in sniffing out COVID-19 infections. Once again, welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. Ministry of Labour continues with extensive efforts in coordinating with military and security institutions, Diwan of Royal Court and Diwan of Court Affairs, to provide job opportunities to job seekers. The coordination covers a wide range of services, including matching between job seekers and their right jobs, holding job interviews and tests for the job candidates. 7 job advertisements have been announced so far. Tests and interviews are currently carried out in Wilayat of Baushar. A ceremony was held to mark the start of the construction works of Muscat Pavilion Smart Offices project located in Muscat Hills. More details coming up in this report.
Within the endeavors made to revitalize the real estate market, attract investments to the Sultanate and provide job opportunities, Muscat Hills Joint Development Company and Asawa Real Estate Company marked the start of construction works for the Muscat Pavilion Smart Offices project, which is located in Muscat Hills.
Muscat Pavilion is one of the unique projects in Muscat, and you can say in Oman, for the business environment. It's smart offices with retail. It creates good opportunities for the entrepreneurs and companies to have a good environment for business. So by creating smart features, it will help in reducing costs, and this is the way that we are going further to the future.
Characterized by privacy and tranquility, the Muscat Pavilion Smart Offices project meets the requirements of the Omani real estate market and offers a unique investment experience in the heart of Muscat.
This project, it came in a time where everyone is feeling that it is a bad time for investment, but this to prove that kind of this project which provides smart offices is available, and people, they can come and invest. And the good thing that we are targeting the small and mid companies that can invest in this project. It is not like other project. Also in terms of the size, it is one of the biggest project that built for the last 5 years in Oman, and it is smart and provide smart ideas from the entrance, from recognition of the face when you enter the offices, in terms of controlling the electricity and all the amenities within this complex.
The design of the Muscat Pavilion project comprises a wide range of crucial facilities and smart services that make it an ideal place for work by combining business and entertainment in one place. Muscat Pavilion project represents a quantum leap in the real estate development. This project is expected to be ready within the next 30 months. صالح بخلفان الرحبي, Sultanate of Oman Television, Muscat.
Thank you, Saleh. The Petroleum Development Oman Company, PDO, celebrated the graduation of the 17th batch of the company's Imdad program. The ceremony included the graduation of 200 Omani youths who were qualified to work in various sectors and specialization at oil and gas sector, in addition to 32 graduates with disability who will be appointed in administrative jobs. Imdad program seeks to provide job opportunities for Omani job seekers as per needs of labor market through vocational training programs. The graduation ceremony was presided over by His Excellency Sayyid Salim bin Musallim Al Busaidi and the Secretary of the Ministry of Labor for Human Resources Development. The Ministry of Transport, Communications and Information Technology issued a circular stating that states' administrative apparatus units and government companies shall be committed that employees who occupy that jobs related to system analysis and development and websites design and technical support shall be Omanis only. The ministry also obligated telecommunication services providers in case of direct contracting or subcontracting or partial contracting to provide Omani cadres to carry out works related to system analysis and development and websites design and technical support, and they shall agree with telecommunication and information technology services providers to provide Omani cadres, taking into account no additional financial consequences or affecting the agreed time to implement the made contract. Now all the way to Al Khod here in the governorate of Muscat, a world-class cancer care and research center with over 300 beds named after the late His Majesty Sultan Qaboos bin Said is set to welcome patients as part of the operational phase of the center by mid-July 2021. Earlier, I managed to visit the center and went through the hospital areas and produced this report. A comprehensive, robust, world-class cancer care and research center soon to be opened. With over 300 beds, this technologically advanced cancer center with the best specialists in the country is set to welcome patients as part of the operational phase of the center by the middle of July 2021. The center is named after the late leader, His Majesty Sultan Qaboos bin Said. The new center, with a range and sophistication of innovative research practices, will provide a range and quality of cutting-edge treatment options. This includes state-of-the-art facilities, operating rooms, inpatients and patients' day care services, as well as top-of-the-line diagnostic, imaging, and surgical methods devices, such as this latest CyberKnife system, the latest in the Middle East. CyberKnife system is a radiation therapy device used to deliver radiosurgery for the treatment of benign tumors, malignant tumors, and other medical conditions.
And some of the equipment that we have here is not available anywhere in the region. I've never been in Oman before, such as the CyberKnife that's just behind me. The CyberKnife that we have here is the latest version, which is called the S7, which was released in 2021. It has a robotic table as well as a robotic arm that is used to treat patients. It has 3 modalities. It has the cones, it has the iris, and it has the MLCs, which is something that is really advanced and can do radiosurgery to various parts of the body, including the head and neck, the lungs, the pelvis, and the spine. So we can use this to treat patients who were previously being sent abroad for further treatments. This can now be done in Oman at the Sultan Qaboos Comprehensive Cancer Care and Research Center.
It's worth mentioning that the center, located in Al Khoudd Governorate of Muscat, built over an area of 54,000 square meters, designed in a modern standards, keeping in mind patient considerations. It has wide corridors with natural lighting. It also consists of single rooms for patients' privacy, gardens, and places designated for patients' families and children, all for the comfort of patients.
The Sultan Qaboos Comprehensive Cancer Care and Research Center is getting ready to open its doors in a soft opening in next month, the middle of July. That's less than a month from now. And we are really proud that we are in a position to provide our patients with some of the most advanced cancer care in the region. Our center is not only going to be providing comprehensive cancer care in terms of surgical, chemotherapy, or radiation. It's going to be providing a holistic approach to cancer care. We have an extensive rehabilitation services, including occupational therapy, physiotherapy, even psychological support for our patients. This center is really going to be a role model for how cancer care should be delivered. And we are very happy to welcome our patients to the center in the coming few days.
The center, with this sophistication of innovative research practices, will play an important role in the medical education throughout the Sultanate. This includes providing educational support for Sultan Qaboos University, the Oman Medical Specialty Board, Minister of Health, Student of Health Sciences Colleges, as well as providing advisory consultancy services to the government and private hospitals. Establishing a modern scientific centers that features the integration of the medical scientist staff with advanced medical technology connecting with the educational center is in line and direction of achieving the vision of His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq. May God protect him. Abdullah bin Ahmed al-Rubi'i, Sultanate of Oman Television, Muscat. From local news to the international news now. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson's welcomed Bahrain's Crown Prince Salman bin Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa to Downing Street today. The two leaders spoke briefly in front of the cameras about their first meeting when Johnson was the mayor of London. According to Prince Salman, Johnson attempted to sell him some buses, but succeeded instead in flogging some taxes. Prince Salman added the buses are a work in progress. Meet Angle, Bobby, and Bravo. These dogs could soon be deployed in the front line of Thailand's fighting to contain the coronavirus. Their recruitment came as the country faced a surge in cases in May 2021, with clusters found in several crowded slum communities and in a large market. Researchers believe the new canine detectives may help save lives. The Labor retrievers are among 6 dogs who are being trained by researchers to sniff out a unique odor in the respiration or perspiration of people with COVID-19. So far, the accuracy of the results has been impressive. During an exercise, a dog is given a patient sample to smell. It then has to smell a number of other identical containers and identify which holds the sample of an infected patient. If a sample is negative, the dog ignores it and walks past. But if it is positive, the dog is trained to sit in front of it. Since the testing began on 10th of May 2021, they have tested more than 1,000 samples sent to the laboratory. The coronavirus sniffing dog idea has been put into place at airports in Dubai, United Arab Emirates, and Helsinki, Finland in recent months. You're watching the Sultanate of Oman television, and to conclude this news bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq issues 2 royal decrees. The COVID-19 vaccination campaign continues in various governorates of the Sultanate as the Minister of Health reports 35 new COVID-19 fatalities. Efforts continue to put out the fire in Ras Al Harq area in the Wilaya of Al Hamra. And the employment and training efforts continue in various sectors. And with that, we do conclude this news bulletin brought to you live from this news center of the Sultanate of Oman television. From the entire news team and myself, we thank you very much for joining us, trusting that you all follow the precautionary measures to stay safe and healthy so that we can enjoy Oman. Thank you for joining us.